question's been bothering me for a while, as long as I've been writing my story. When a coach tells me to show emotion, how do I know when the emotional words I'm using are really ringing true emotionally to the audience? Like, for example, if I said, I was so humiliated, does that really pull emotion out of the audience?
Okay, man, that's a good question. And I'm going to try to answer that. Okay, first of all, there's 3 pieces to that. And I might need you to remind me. So write these 3 things down because I'm going to lose my trail of thought.
Okay.
Number 1, showing emotion on your face.
Oh,
Number 2, being conversational in your emotions. And number 3, using words that don't evoke emotion anymore.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's go back because I'm going to forget where I was going to go. That's why I had you do that. The first of all, when somebody says show emotion, that tells me the look on your face. That has to do with delivery. And I'm going to say this. I said it to you in an earlier video. We're not actors. We're not doing skits. We are not planning our emotions, period. What we are doing is stepping into the story and feeling it again. And so if you want them to really connect in your delivery, then that has to do with you not standing outside your story and telling me about it, but you standing inside your story and, as Doug Stevenson would say, act it out, which again, I'm going against what I just said, because we don't really want you to become an actor. But when people say, why do your stories mean so much, Kelly, to us? I say it's because I'm standing in it again, and I'm looking around and I'm describing it to you, and I'm feeling it again. And I'm not worried about what to do with my face. Because in my mind, you're sitting across from me at my kitchen table or across a glass of wine, and we do this naturally. So in order to deal with a coach who says show emotion, that's the answer to showing it. Now that's delivery. A story or speech is equal parts script. So then you move into, well, how do I write words if I'm scripting this out that actually show the emotion I would feel? Now, this might be getting into the third thing I also wanted to tell you, but I'm going to say this: write the way you talk.
Mm-hmm.
Write the way you talk. Many times we write to be read, and we wonder why when we try to do it. And it's natural. We've been writing our whole lives on paper. We just naturally write a story thinking of somebody reading it. That's why I write my stories. I write the way I talk, and I talk the way I talk. And I often don't even script my story out completely, Janice. I will write it in bullet point, in fragments. And I'll practice it, telling it like you're sitting here. I'll tell it to my chair in my living room or my office or in the car. And I'll go, no, that's not the way I would say it. And I'd practice bringing it to a conversational way. And so the words that I would use in a conversation come out naturally.
Right.
Where somebody, if they say, and heretofore, and I'll go, no, flag on the play. Nobody's going to say heretofore. That's not how you talking at lunch. I know you. And so I'll constantly look for the words you would naturally use, because when you're telling me an emotional story at lunch, Janice, at a meeting, you're going to naturally do it, and I'm going to be hooked in and engaged. And you're not ticker taping in your head which words you should be using.
Right.
We do it naturally. The third thing I want to say is this. So you didn't need to remind me. I remembered it everywhere I wanted to go. I just read a great article, too, that actually talked, there's science behind this. There's science behind storytelling and everything it does. There's also science behind words that evoke emotion. And there are certain words that are overused. And when these words become overused, they no longer evoke emotion. So we want to stay away from words like, it was fantastic. It was awesome.
Right.
I was humiliated. So I would start to go, I wonder if that word has been so overused that we hear it and we don't even evoke anything. So instead of saying I was humiliated, I would want to say like, oh my gosh, suddenly everybody's staring at me. And I felt like in that dream where you feel like you showed up naked. This is when you asked me in the very beginning, how, so to wrap a bow on what I just said, find a more organic way to say it than just a word that's probably been overused. And going even further, in the beginning when you said, I don't know how to add that emotion or whatever, tell me how it made you feel. That's the simplest way. I'm not, when I say, because I kept saying to you in your other hot seat, don't just tell me what happened. Tell me how it made you feel. Don't just tell me, that you had a horrible car wreck and you were in a coma for 3 days. Tell me how it made you feel. I mean, that's the part, and we do it naturally. We just forget about it when we get into a presentation or up on stage. Do you think that sort of answered that question in a way that you know what to do with?
Yes, that's very helpful.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna call that video a wrap.